Bart's pickup truck down the highway. And I believe they got Skeeter tied to the hood. And Tom said, well, good. Well, you can see where that might hurt our feelings. I turned off the CB. We headed on into town, but this was 1986. This was small town West Virginia. You know what I'm talking about. There was no internet. There was no CNN. We didn't even get public radio back there. So what people did for their news and information in the morning was turn on their police scanners. So when we came around the corner into Main Street, there were people lined up and down both sides of the street drinking coffee with their curlers in. I thought H.G. Wells was landing spaceships on the courthouse lawn. I turned the CB back on to find out what was going on just in time to hear Tom say, Sheriff Hasbro, I called the FBI, just like you said. And the FBI called Animal Control. And Animal Control said you should consider them two deer armed and dangerous. They said you're allowed to use lethal force if necessary. Well, that was a little bit more than we had bargained for. So Skeeter just sort of pulled to the side of the road, and Sheriff Hasbro pulled in behind us, and after a minute he got out of his car and came over and made us take off our masks, and then he yelled at us for a good long time. Gave us each a ticket for the crime of mayhem, dressed as an 8-point buck. We each had to pay a little fine and do a little community service, but I think what we learned from all of this is they say that true forgiveness comes only after you have honestly repented of your sins and after you promise to never take any glory from the original action. So I think I can safely say, with that in mind, that Skeeter and I will never be forgiven for what we did that day. Thank you very much.
Bil Lepp. The Martha Bassett Show.
Supported in part by Explore Elkin, your one-stop travel source for the Yadkin Valley and beyond. If you're looking for hometown charm, historic landmarks, Main Street shopping, and fine dining, come stay a while in downtown Elkin. Elkin is a small town with a big community. So whether it's downtown events, music, hiking, or just paddling the Blue Water Trail, let Explore Elkin help you find your trail. Learn more on Facebook or at exploreelkin.com. Support for the Martha Bassett Show also comes from these fine downtown Elkin businesses: the Elk Pharmacy, Yoga on Main, Colby Hall of Liberty, Angry Troll and Room, Yadkin Valley Cooks, the Wisdom Table, and Elkin's finest cocktail bar, Fruition. Now, let's get back to the Reeves Theater with Martha Bassett and our next guest.
Antje Duvekot is one of Boston's top singer-songwriters. In fact, since the release of her first record in 2006, she has won the grand prize in the John Lennon Songwriting Competition, the prestigious Kerrville Best New Folk Award, and the Boston Music Award for Outstanding Folk Act. We are thrilled that she has stopped to be with us on this tour. Please welcome Antje Duvekot.
Hi, it's so nice to be here. I've been enjoying the show so far. It's been really wonderful. So I'm going to start off with a song called New Wild West, and I wrote this in order to have a conversation with my dad. So this song is a conversation between me and my dad, but my dad will never hear this song. It'll just go better that way. Hey, Alexander, you got a look on your face like a cowboy without a steed. Say, Alexander, a boat without a breeze. Ooh, Alexander, the name of the game has been changed and you don't know why. Scratch the flags you hoisted to infallible heights when you were the good guys. And you feel just like a relic from a time that will never come back. Now valor's on sale, boys can be girls. There are no damsels in distress. Welcome to your new Wild West. strange Alexander, it will sprout from below with the tact of a patient pawn. One day, Alexander, you step out for a smoke, and the world that you knew is gone. Ooh, Alexander, you commanded the stage in the age of the marble Roman, back when the world contorted itself as your prize, when you were the good guys. You feel just like a relic from a time that will never come back, like a furloughed colonel with nothing to command. In that room with the elephant, before you were irrelevant, on your guaranteed square in the game of musical chairs, you were never unkind, were just woefully blind back when you were blessed. But welcome to your new Wild West. Thank you. I'm having a little trouble hearing my voice in the monitor. It seems a little different from soundcheck. If there's a way to sort of brighten it up or give me more volume, that'd be great. So this is a song that I wrote recently, thank you, called Evolution. And I wrote this after taking a scary plane ride from Logan Airport. I was taking off, and it was summer, and it was an intense thunderstorm, and there was just lightning everywhere. And I thought, I was like, I thought we were going to die. I was so terrified. But then we got above the clouds, and suddenly everything just shifted. Like the cloud cover was just lighting up, and it was magical. And that made me think about perspective and how sometimes all it takes is just a shift in perspective. And so this is about evolution. It's about mankind getting on airplanes and flying above the clouds and evolving away from like the fear perspective where you're just looking up at the anger of the gods. But it's also about a personal life. Just the idea that we evolve and we get more tools and we overcome fear and we get more of a sense of perspective as we get older. So this is kind of about personal evolution as well. Once we were stuck below the clouds when we were very small, and there was lightning raining down and we were frightened of it all. Before we climbed above the thunder, upon the wrath of the gods, and we took a flight, and the silver lining was shining right there in our palms. And it's nothing if not strange to be sitting on a plane and to marvel at how far we came since the early dog days of that prehistoric dawn. Back when the phases of the moon were still just phrases without tunes. But ooh, look at us now. Ooh, yeah, we had doubt. Ooh, I see you now. And holy cow, look at you now. Take the pace of a snail and divide that by 8. To the faintest rate of progress, every eon looks the same. And our toolkit was so basic, and our mission was so weird. And it blows my mind that we persevered through the flooding and the rain, through every muddy ice age. We soldiered on, and we kept the faith through the long and dark days of that prehistoric slog. But But ooh, look at us now. Ooh, yeah, we had doubts. And ooh, I see you now. And holy cow. Holy cow. Look at us now. The shimmer of the stars is just a tribute to our scars. But ooh, look at us now. Ooh, yeah, we had doubts. And ooh, I see you now. And holy cow, look at us now. Thanks.
Thank you, Antje. That was beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
So I read that one of your songs was used by Bank of America in a television commercial that played during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so with an asterisk, it played during the Super Bowl in the New England showing of the Super Bowl. Still cool though, but
Still.
like not nationally, but like regionally. Okay, yeah.
Did that have a big impact?
Yeah, it didn't. I'm not sure if it really got people to know my music more, but it was just really exciting to see my song on TV.
Absolutely. Well, will you tell me a little bit about how you came to songwriting? What is your background? We just met today, so I don't know that much about Antje.
I mean, I was born and I loved music from the beginning. Like, I was raised in Germany, and at the time, I don't know, the adults would like gather around campfires and sing, and all the other kids would be playing in the woods, and like all my peer kids were playing in the woods, but I'd always like just sit and listen to the adults sing because I just like loved whatever that thing was, that music thing. My family wasn't really musical, but I loved it from the beginning. I knew that was what I was really drawn to music. And then when I was 13, we emigrated from Germany to Delaware in the US, at which point I had a lot of trouble adjusting culturally. I was 13 years old, and it was definitely a weird time. I didn't speak the language. I didn't fit in because I didn't really stand a chance. Like, it's hard to fit in when you don't know the language or the culture. So I kind of was like looking for some way to sort of soothe myself after school, to kind of just like have this thing for myself, and music ended up being that. And I started to write songs, but my English wasn't that good yet, so I would use phrases a little bit differently, I think, because my language wasn't that strong. And then people were like, "Oh, that's so poetic, the way you write." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really speak the language, but sure, we'll call it poetic." So yeah, that's kind of how I got my start.
I was going to say the same thing. It was very poetic, and I was wondering if you had a literary background.
No, but I've always been an observer, I think.
Well, tell us about this next song, because it has some German lyrics.
Yeah, so I was actually commissioned by a place called the Goethe Institute, which is a German language culture center, and they wanted me to write their 2021 Earth Day song. And I wanted to do a good job and put a little bit of German into it. So I did a lot of research on the environment, and then after that, after doing the research, I got really depressed, and I was like, wow, we're really screwed. And I was like, that's not going to make a good Earth Day song. I knew that. So I pinned myself a bit in the corner, but at that point, when I was having intense writer's block, I heard this coyote outside of my window. And that reminded me that there's like a natural world out there, and so I wrote about that.
So this is Anwesenheit.
Yes, this is called Anwesenheit. It's an Earth Day song. Is this the right key? Yes. Could I get less guitar? Hey coyote, are you out there? Can you lead me to my ancient self? Hey glitter on the water, I think I need help. 'Cause I keep dry and I keep warm. Got all the shelter from the storm. I can turn summer into winter and night into day with a switch. We can turn less into more, but we don't anymore understand which is which. Hey, perfection of a dewdrop, can you lead me to my healing spot? I thought I was independent, but I guess I forgot that I've got milky ways and one nor on alone. I got riverbeds in my bones, and I am no less a part of this, a part of all this. Show me the road less traveled, let's follow it back to the source before the balance unraveled, before we lost our course. Auf unser Sein, Korn Kosmos, unter der Anwesenheit in seiner Zerbrechlich und Unersetzlichkeit. Hey Coyote, are you out there? Have we come to a dividing line? Hey, pollen on a bee's wing, do we still have the time to save your habitat with habits that inhabit that? We have the facts with habits that stop the ransack. We can grow less, so you grow back. Show me the road less traveled, let's follow it back to the source before the balance unraveled, before we lost our course. Auf unserem Sein, Korn Kosmos, unter der Anwesenheit in seiner Zerbrechlich und Unersetzlichkeit. 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 Hey Coyote, are you out there? Can you lead me to my ancient self? Hey, glitter on the water, I think I need help. Thank you.
Antje Duvekot. All right, everyone, it is intermission time, so please stretch your legs, make your way out to the lobby and see Miranda at the merch table. She has all kinds of good things for you tonight, and we'll see you back here in a few minutes.
Welcome back to the second half of the Martha Bassett Show, featuring Antje Duvekot, Golden Shoals, that's Amy Alvey and Mark Kiliansky, and Bil Lepp. Remember, you can listen to us weekly on 88.5 WFDD, follow the entire schedule, listen to past radio shows, and subscribe to our podcast at marthabassettshow.com. Now, back to the Reeves Theater stage in Elkin, North Carolina, live with Golden Shoals.
Southside, meet me in the grass and under the shade. Southside, meet me at 2 o'clock, don't be late. Don't you keep me waiting all day, just to come back crawling into bed with me. I'll leave you in the morning. Sun's out, better bring your guns, won't you show me your teeth? Sun's out, so tell me all your secrets and I promise I'll keep. Well, come on baby, don't be shy. Got my 2 ears ready and an open heart, there's nothing left to hide. Hound dog, itching at the collar just to get that bone. Bullfrog, moonlight shining, can't you hear him moan? Don't you keep me loose on your chain. Love me like you know you should. Set me free to love another.
You guys sound amazing.
This is
it's
the first
so
time
good
we've
to hear
done
you.
something like this.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. I want to take all you guys on the road with us. Full 9-piece band.
Yeah, sure.
If you keep clapping, you're hired. You know?
You're welcome to follow us as long as you want.
Yeah, we actually are on a tour right now. We're playing in Floyd, Virginia on Saturday, and then we're playing all throughout North Carolina, Raleigh, Charlotte, Asheville, and then we're heading back to Nashville. And yeah, check out the website, goldenshoals.com.
so I noticed that on your website that you guys have been a lot of places. Where have your travels taken you internationally and nationally?
So, we started up in New England. We've toured the West Coast a bunch. Our last tour before the pandemic was in Ontario, Canada, in kind of remote places in Ontario. Our first international tour was in Australia, and we've also been to the UK and Germany.
Last summer, we got to go to Alaska. That was my first time up there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I've never been to Alaska yet.
Midnight Sun.
Yes.
It was a party.
How did you guys get your name?
Oh, well, we used to go under another name, but there were some conflicts with that. And we were kind of brainstorming for a long time, and I got fixated on the word golden. And then we were driving past Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and Amy said, I kind of like the word Shoals. So we put them together, and it fits because, shoal is a kind of a coastal underwater ridge, and our origins are coastal. And it's a really nice image, we thought.
It's beautiful.
Well, and let me tell you, Martha, having to think up a band name that is easy to remember and not confusing and isn't already taken, I don't wish it on my worst enemy. It was
That's
a
why
headache.
we're the Martha Bassett Band. It's just we couldn't come up with anything. Seriously.
Yeah, there's some perks to that for
Right.
sure. But we're really happy with the name Golden Shoals. We're happy we get to kind of define the sound, and that's what's really cool about it.
That is cool. And you guys have made 5 records. Am I right about that?
That sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't counted lately.
Okay. Well, I love what you're doing, and we're going to sit in on the next couple of songs with you. So you want to tell us about these, or just jump right in?
This first one is called Sittin' Pretty. All these folks here are sitting pretty right now. All y'all are sitting pretty, I'll tell you what. But I guess this was speaking to the anxiety I was feeling on the road when, I was hearing about these the horrible stories in the news cycle, and it still rings true even today. So here it is, Sittin' Pretty. just busting his ass. Mama raised the kids, now she lives off the cash. Sister and husband, baby make three. They can't take the time off in this economy. And I'm sitting pretty, dragging a smoke. I'm sitting pretty, ain't that a joke? Oh, I'm sitting pretty, dragging a smoke. I'm sitting pretty, ain't that a joke? Madman's in the White House begging for war. West Coast is burning just to settle the score. Hurricane Irma, Jose and Nate, it won't take too much water just to flood through the gates. And I'm sitting pretty, dragging a smoke. I'm sitting pretty, ain't that a joke? Oh, I'm sitting pretty, dragging a smoke. I'm sitting pretty, ain't that a joke? Some people work hard and can't catch a break. Big coal is all gone and all that's left are the graves. If life is like a game, then it's luck of the draw, and you're only on top because of others who fall. And I'm sitting pretty, dragging a smoke. I'm sitting pretty, ain't that a joke? Oh, I'm sitting pretty, dragging a smoke. I'm sitting pretty, ain't that a joke? Johnny's got a rifle under his desk. He's tired of being bullied and called teacher's pet. His dad don't have the time to give to his name. If Johnny wants to start trouble, it'll all end the same. And I'm sitting pretty, dragging a smoke. I'm sitting pretty, ain't that a joke? Oh, I'm sitting pretty, dragging a smoke. I'm sitting pretty, ain't that a joke? Quiet are the mornings when I'm at home. It doesn't happen often, got my show on the road. My troubling mind won't let me sleep, 'cause my worry like a knife, it keeps cutting me deep. And I'm sitting pretty, dragging a smoke. I'm sitting pretty, ain't that a joke? Oh, I'm sitting pretty, dragging a smoke. I'm sitting pretty, ain't that a
Some real hot shots you got here, Martha. And that egg shaker. That egg shaker's nothing to shake a stick at. Well, how about we do one more of our tunes? Sound good?
Absolutely. You want to tell them about this one, Mark?
Yeah, this song is, I wrote it about kind of some of the various wacky characters we run into in our line of work, traveling around, playing folk and bluegrass music. Stranger than you might think. And the chorus is an assembly of 7 different country songs of various levels of notoriety, kind of all mashed up into one super chorus. And if you can identify all 7 songs, we'll give you a free album. It's called Everybody's Singing.
Sitting in the kitchen on the radiator looking out the window. Revelation spinning on the record player in the other room. The snow's falling hard in the backyard, going where the greens are gonna grow. Whiskey and my coffee is a party in the early afternoon. And everybody's singing Loretta, I'm over you. Gonna buy myself some new shoes. The moon is high, so am I. Sing a train on the island, listen to her squeal. Rock me, mom, any way you feel. Singing I'm so lonesome I could cry. Singing sad boy anthems in your dinner on denim in a hotel room. Or in a cowboy costume, crooning at the Louisiana Jamboree. Talking about the hang while you're at the hang gang. You ought to take a rope and nope. Bevin Dyer is real man sitting in the heart of Tennessee. Where everybody's singing Loretta, I'm over you. Gonna buy myself some new shoes. Moon is high, so am I. Sing a train on the island, listen to her squeal. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Singing I'm so lonesome I could cry. In the mirror all day long. You can wear a pair of acid wash overalls, a punk rock mullet, or a white jumpsuit with your name recorded on it. The bluegrass band are singing all your favorite 80s songs. And everybody singing Loretta, I'm over you. I'm gonna buy myself some new shoes. The moon is high, so am I. We'll sing a train on the island, listen to her squeal. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Singing I'm so lonesome I could cry.
Thank you so much.
The Martha Bassett Show is supported in part by Hugh Chatham Memorial Hospital. Hugh Chatham Memorial Hospital has provided high-quality medical care for the residents of Elkin, North Carolina and the Yadkin Valley for over 90 years, and they've recently expanded into Virginia. A private not-for-profit hospital, Hugh Chatham employs more than 900 and is served by more than 70 physicians, representing 27 specialties and subspecialties, delivering all of the quality medical services you and your family need to achieve optimal physical and mental health. You can learn more at hughchatham.org. Let's get back to the Reeves Theater stage with Martha Bassett.
Thank you. The Gentle Rain is a 1965 bossa nova written by Luigi Bonfa for a film of the same name. You might know Luigi Bonfa as the composer of Manhã de Carnaval, or Black Orpheus. Anybody know that song? It's a famous bossa. You'd probably recognize it. So the lyrics were for this bossa were originally written in English because it is an American film. So this is The Gentle Rain.
We both are lost and alone in this world. Walk with me in the gentle rain. Don't be afraid, I've a hand for your hand, and I will be your love for a while. That's Rex McGee. I feel your tears as they fall on my cheek. They are warm like the gentle rain. Come, little one, you've got me in this world, and our love will be sweet, very sad, very sweet, like the gentle rain, like the gentle rain, like the gentle rain.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Rex. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite back out Bil Lepp.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. So I want to tell these folks that there's all kinds of stuff online that they can watch of yours, but one of my favorite things that I've seen lately was you and your daughter trying to spell words. Bill's wife and son were coming up with difficult spelling words for you and your daughter to do, and well, it was a lot of fun to watch.
Thank you.
So I'd like to ask you to spell something.
No. I'm not faking this.
With my dad, too. So.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I guess so.
Okay. This is the West Virginia state flower.
Oh my gosh.
Rhododendron.
RHODENDRON.
Not exactly. Try it again. R-H-O.
R-H-O, row, duh, D-A-D-E-N-D-R-O-N.
Almost. You're one vowel off.
I can
Anybody
spell the
know?
state fish. B-R-O-O-K-E-T-R-O-U-T. Or the animal, B-E-A-R.
Very good, very good. What color?
Black,
Okay.
B-L-A-C-K.
Okay. So I learned when I was young to spell rhododendron because my dad wouldn't let me do things unless I spelled rhododendron correctly, and it's rhododendron, R-H-O-D-O-D-E-N-D-R-O-N.
English makes no sense.
Okay. Anyway, look up those episodes online of Bill and his daughter.
Bill and Ellie
spelling.
try and spell words, is what it's
They're
called.
spelling really hard words, so.
We're not spelling really hard words, we're attempting.
All right. Do you have another story for us?
I do.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So one day, a long time ago, I was playing with my oldest child, and they said, let's play kingdoms. And I said, okay. And they said, I'll get the stuff for my kingdom. And they got the Tonka truck, dump truck, and the jumbo jet, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And they said, I will be the king of big things. And I said, what do I get to be king of? And they handed me a marble and a jack. And they said, you can be the king of little things. And I thought, wow, that's a great idea for a story. I said, you play by yourself. I'm going to my office, Cats in the Cradle. And so, that was a joke. There, they'll edit that laughter in. So I went to my office and I wrote this story called The King of Little Things, and it was probably 2,000 words long, and I started telling it on stage. That was my intent, was for it to be a story that you tell on stage, and this was in about 2005, I guess, 2006, and a friend of mine who's a pretty prominent children's book author said, do you want that to be a children's book? And I said, wow, yes, that would be a great idea. And she said, we might need to edit it a little bit. And I said, that's fine. And I was joking. I said, that's fine, as long as we leave 3 words by Bil Lepp. That's about all that got left. We took about a 2,000, 1,500 word story, and over like the next 5 years, we edited it down to 750 words. And it was a really interesting process because the editors would call me and they would say, line 3 on page 8 is totally inappropriate for a children's book. You need to cut it. And I would say, but I love that line. And they would say, you have to learn to kill your babies, which is what they say in the publishing world. So I would take out line 3 on page 8, and they would call me back in a year, and they'd be like, we're missing something on page 8. And I'd be like, I know what we can put on page 8. And I would take the same line and put it back in, and they would say, that's genius. That's totally appropriate for a children's book. So it took like 5 or 6 years for the book to finally came out. And then it's called The King of Little Things. And it's for sale out in the lobby. I totally just didn't mean this to be a commercial. And then it was kind of relevant, you'll see why, around 2016. And then it was relevant for the next several years. And then it fell out of relevance. And now it's kind of relevant again. And I sort of wish it would quit being relevant. But I'm going to tell it to you, and you can decide whether it's relevant or not. So, long ago, far away, on the other side of the mountain, there lived a king. He was the king of little things. He was the king of keys, coins, crumbs, and condensation. He was the king of needles, noodles, knots. Now I messed it up. He was the king of keys, coins, crumbs, and condensation. He was the king of needles, noodles, beetles, baby rattles, little ballerina dolls, toy soldiers, pin cushions, pet names, and small kindnesses. Now, all around the king of little things, there were bigger kings. There were kings of cities, kings of counties, kings of countries, and kings of continents. The big kings made their subjects pay for everything, for freedom, for food, for firewood. The king of little things gave anything to anyone who asked politely. The big kings all had big castles. They'd have huge parties on Friday and Saturday night. They'd make everybody attend. King of little things had a little cabin, might have a few friends over. The big kings all had aspirations. The kings of cities wanted to be kings of counties. The kings of counties wanted to be kings of countries. The kings of countries wanted to be kings of continents. And the kings of continents wanted to rule the world. The king of little things just wanted to remember his wife's birthday. Well, one day, one of the big kings, King Normus, he decided it was time to take over the world. So he got together his generals, he got together his advisors, he amassed his armies, and he set out, and he quashed the kings of the cities, and he crushed the kings of the counties, and he conquered the kings of the countries, and he illiterated the kings of the continents. And when he thought that he had taken over the entire world, he had his jewelers make him a fine suit with big brass buttons. No, he had his tailors make him a fine suit with big brass buttons. He had his jewelers make him a huge crown with thousands of tiny jewels. He threw a huge banquet. He stood in front of everyone, and he said, I am now the biggest king that ever was. I am the king of the sky. I am the king of the oceans. I am the king of the mountains. I am the king of the trees. I am the king of the rivers. I am the king of the whales. I am the king of the pachyderms. And he would have gone on like that forever. Except a servant in the back of the room raised a tremulous hand. And he said, excuse me, my enormous sire, you are indeed the king of the sky and the king of the pachyderms. But I am afraid that there is one king whom you have overlooked in your quest to conquer the world. And King Normus said, who, which, what king have I overlooked in my quest to conquer the world? And the servant said, sir, you have overlooked his minuscule majesty, the king of little things. Well, this threw King Normus into a rage. He said, king of little things, king of little things. Little things don't have a king. He said, everybody knows that little things exist simply to serve the bigger things. But still and all, he got together his generals, he got together his armies, and he set out to conquer the king of little things. Well, they got to the king of little things' cabin in the evening, and the king of little things was in the kitchen doing the dishes because he knew that it was the little things that matter the most. He also knew, as David Holt says, that no man has ever been willingly shot in the back while doing the dishes. Which is not a line that made it into the book. So King Little Things looked out, he saw the big king's armies, he knew that they would wait till morning to attack. So he went out on his front porch and he respectfully asked some of his subjects if during the night they would invade the big king's camp. And when the big king's soldiers awoke, they couldn't attack. Chiggers and ticks and mosquitoes had gotten underneath their armor. Athlete's foot fungus had crawled down their boots and in between their toes. They itched so bad they couldn't attack. There were worms in the meat, weevils in the wheat, flies in the fruit. Termites had eaten away the arrow shafts, the spear shafts, the cannon wheels, the catapult. So King Normus requisitioned new equipment, arrows with steel shafts, spears with steel shafts, steel wheels on the cannon, a steel catapult. So the king of little things asked his friend Rust to ride his friend Dew into the big king's camp. And once again, when the big king's soldiers awoke, they couldn't attack. Rust had eaten through their armor. It had eaten through the arrow shafts. The cannon wouldn't roll. The catapult was now about as dangerous as a cantaloupe. And King Normus was in his enormous tent, marching back and forth. What am I going to do? I can't defeat this king. How can I defeat this king? He controls the little things to create chaos. And then he had an idea. He said, I know what I'll do. He said, I'll cheat. I'll lie, because the king of little things is not the king of lies, because a lie, no matter how small, is never a little thing. He said, send a soldier with a flag of truce to get the king of little things, tell him to come to my headquarters to discuss the situation of the siege, and when he gets here, we'll capture him and we'll throw him in the dungeon. Well, they sent the soldier, and the king of little things came with him. He knew what was happening, but he also knew that his servants would come to his rescue if need be. And as soon as the king of little things walked into King Normus's tent, all of the little things in the tent recognized their king. The coins rolled out of King Normus's coffers and bowed down before the king of little things. The jewels jumped out of King Normus's crown. The fillings fell out of his teeth. The buttons jumped off of his coat. His suspenders surrendered. His belt broke, and his pants fell down. Yeah, there's at least one fourth grader in the audience. So there stood King Normus, trying to hold up both his pants and his pride in front of the king of little things. He was so upset, he said, throw him in the dungeon, throw him in the dungeon. But when they got to the dungeon, once again, all of the little things recognized their king. The keys refused to unlock the locks. The nails jumped out of the dungeon doors, bowed down before the king of little things. King Normus said, put him in a cave, put him in a cave, put a big rock in front of the cave, no food, no water, till he surrenders his kingdom. So the king and little things went to the cave, and life wasn't entirely unpleasant in the cave. The ants brought him crumbs, the bees brought him honey, the birds brought him seeds. Little drops of water made their way down through the mountain and dripped into his mouth. But after a while, he missed his queen. He missed his cottage. He got a little bit bored. And so the king of little things sent word with the ants and the birds and the bees, asking them to ask the little things everywhere to do him a favor. And the ants carried the words like crumbs, and the bees painted the words on the flowers, and the birds dropped the words from the sky like rain. And all over the world, little things began to happen. Springs, sprung strings, unstrung hangers, unhung bolts, bolted boats, listed tables toppled, chairs folded, easels eased away, quilts quivered, quills quit, fires froze, pickles undilled, cookies crumbled, bread broke, and ticks and tocks left their clocks. And everything everywhere quit working. And everybody knew that it was King Normus's fault. And they demanded that the king of little things be set free. Well, King Normus could see that he was beat, so he surrendered his crown, and he loaded some of his enormous possessions onto his enormous wagon, including his enormous wife. She was very tall, and off they rode. And the people presented the crown to the king of little things, who asked very little of his new subjects, except that they leave crumbs for the ants, plant flowers for the birds and the bees, oil hinges regularly, say please and thank you, and tip generously. And everyone lived adequately ever after. Except, of course, King Normus, who could never find his wallet or his comb or his watch. And maybe even he will someday learn that it's the little things that matter the most. I just want to say one quick thing, and then I will leave the stage. First of all, thank you very much for having me down here. But I'm very excited to say that my daughter, she's in a teen group, a theater group called Beyond the Stage, doesn't really matter, but they decided they wanted to do that story as their play. So if you want to see it as a play, come to Charleston, West Virginia over Memorial Day weekend, and you can see The King of Little Things as a play. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Martha.
Mr. Bil Lepp.
The Martha Bassett Show comes to you from the Reeves Theater and Cafe, downtown Elkin's newly renovated landmark. Originally opened as an Art Deco movie theater in 1941, it was fully operational until 1977, and then became the Elk Twin Cinema until 1994. Closed for decades after it was lovingly restored and reopened in 2018. The Reeves Theater and Cafe is your location for farm-to-table dining. The Reeves Theater also has a vibrant music lineup with amazing national, regional, and local artists. You can learn more at reevestheater.com. Now, let's get back to the show with Martha and Antje Duvekot. Woo, let's applause until she gets here. Go ahead.
Ready? This is called Open Waters. It's about going out and exploring even if you're scared. Little old soul, keep rocking that boat. Don't you listen to a word that they say, 'cause it's no goal, and they would have you with her, 'cause misery loves company. They would hang their moons inside your rooms, where they made the mistakes of their fathers. But you are no fool, and I'll wait for you. I'll be waiting in open waters. Little heartbeat, keep kicking your feet. Don't you let them get into your head. You were all breeze, and they would shut the windows, all in the name of safety. 'Cause you have volunteered to be chained by fear, but from one pioneer to another. It's not that we aren't scared, but I'll meet you there, out in the open water. To the water, storm front and every sunrise. And that's the price, and it's a strong wind that can make you spin. That's the flip side of letting the light in. But you are fierce and brave, and you know the way. And from one pioneer to another, it's not that we aren't scared, but I'll meet you there, out in the open water. You company, so carry your boat to the water, out to where you can breathe. Pay no heed to those who don't matter. You've got all that you need. They can just talk and write you off as a cure. Rhythm of the sea. Thank you,
that was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you guys for backing me.
Oh, we love it. I see that you have a couple more dates in North Carolina on this tour. So you flew down today, is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Where else are you going to be playing?
In Hayesville. Do you know where that is? I don't yet, but I'm going to find out. The day, Saturday, I believe. And I'm playing at the Evening Muse on Monday, I think. That's in Charlotte.
Yes, we know that.
Yeah. And then I have a bunch of Boston shows after that.
Is this your first time in our area?
Yeah, kind of. I've played in Charlotte before, but not in not here in Elkin.
Welcome. We hope you'll make many more trips down.
I hope so too. Yeah, I love this.
So what's next for you in your career?
Making a bunch of albums. Like everyone else in the pandemic, I had a bunch of time, so I wrote a lot. Now I have to make all these albums to give those songs a home. So yeah.
Do you? What's your writing process like? Do you?
It's fairly autobiographical, and I just report on my life. It's pretty straightforward, actually. I'm going to play a song called "Long Way" as my next song, and it's just about a trip I took. So I try to, I don't know. I write things down as they happen to me, and I do think in metaphor a lot, like automatically. So that always works its way into my writing. But
I can't wait to hear it.
So this song really is just the report of a trip I took. This song's called "Long Way." We bid our friends goodbye and promised we would write them, and headed north up 95 into the great unknown. Turned up our stereo and I felt so reckless and alive. We didn't know who we would be. We didn't know where we would end up when we headed down that road. A little food and our guitars in the backseat in that old cello, the one that would get stolen in a town in Idaho. And it's a long way to Michigan and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way, the clouds upon our backs books, and it's a long, 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 long way. And I have never seen reflections of the cleanest of blue as in Minnesota lakes. Those were the longest nights of wood smoke and northern lights as we talked until the morning came. The light of glowing embers, as sweet as I remember, among the rustling of the trees. Legend of the harvest moon and the sweet ballad of the loon. I felt as ancient as I was meant to be. And it's a long way to Tennessee and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way, the clouds upon our backs, and it's a long, 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 long way. I called you from a payphone in windy, cold Missoula, and then from Midland in the rain. No place as proud and sad as the South Dakota Badlands. It touched me more than I could explain. On a dirt poor reservation where the Oglala Nation tries to hang on to its ways. Feather and peyote pipe, 6-pack of Miller Lite sits on the dashboard of a beat-up Chevrolet. And it's a long way to Washington and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way on the worn-out heels of Kerouac. It's a long, 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 long way. Out in California, we touched the other ocean, and I still have that jar of sand. In the Arizona desert, the sky goes on forever. You've never seen a thing as grand. And North Montana was cold. She keeps her secrets frozen under glaciers way up north. People have got lost up there in the home of the grizzly bear, and you can ask the mountain, but the mountain doesn't care. And it's a long way to Delaware and back, and it's a long way. It's a long way on the worn-out heels of Kerouac. It's a long, 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 long way. Thank you.
We're out to back you up again.
Yay! I missed you while you were gone.
Folks, we have one more song from Antje, and we just want to thank you again for coming down and being with us.
And thanks to you guys for being here. So my last song is a COVID romance song. It's a very small niche, not that many of them, but I met someone March 2020, but I met him over the internet, and then we talked on the phone, so it was the true COVID romance, because we talked on the phone for 6 weeks before we figured out a safe way to meet one another. So this song is all about that period of getting to know each other, old school, over the phone. It's called Traces. Traces, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You come in stages, 1, 2, 3, closer by degrees. And the didn't be on the in-between, perimeter and dream. So far beyond the contour, so much closer than it seems. Like a string to kite, I think you might have just the hands to hold me. Your voice on the wire, like an unseen fire, unravels and unfolds me. The hum of electricity is coming through static. It could be love, love. And all the riots of uncertainty go quiet whenever you are on the line We are made of time, and I could linger. Stay until the end, follow your fingers to where the pavement ends. When I would trace your silhouette that I have never traced, in a world thrown off its axis, where you spin me into place, and all the riots of uncertainty go quiet. Whenever you are on the line, we are made of time, time, time. I sailed my ship from beach to beach. There were things I loved in each. There were things I took with me. There was some I had to leave. I ran my ship against the stones. I've been lost, I've nearly drowned. Some days I ran into regret, joy and pain out on the town. I've seen things I'd have never seen. The shells I gathered, my beliefs. I've bathed in the Amazon rain. So many things I can't explain, like how we followed the same star when we were anchoring in harbors. In gleaming ports I sat and dined, where I found revelry and wine. But all those words, they were not mine. Though many songs I learned and sung, I loved the landscape, but nobody knew my tongue. I leave you traces, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You come in stages, 1, 2, 3, closer by degrees. And the din beyond the in-between, perimeter and dream, so far beyond the contour, so much closer than it seems.
Antje Duvekot. All right, let's bring out the full cast. Golden Shoals.
Band's back together again.
Getting the band back together.
Getting the band back together.
Thank you guys for, again, for being with us tonight. What a fun night it's been, and we are honored that you have spent it with us. We are going to end with a Woody Guthrie Wilco song called California Stars. Shall I start it?
My heavy head tonight on a bed of California stars. I'd like to lay my weary bones tonight on a bed of California stars. I'd love to feel your hand touching mine and tell me why I must keep working on. Yes, I'd give my life to lay my head tonight on a bed of California stars. I like to dream my troubles all away on a bed of California stars. Jump up from my star bed, make another day underneath my California stars. They hang like grapes on vines that shine and warm the lover's glass like friendly wine. So I give this world just to dream a dream with you on a bed of California stars.
head tonight on a bed of California stars. I like to lay my weary bones tonight on a bed of California stars.
I'd love to feel your hand touching mine and tell me why I must keep working on. I give my life to lay my head tonight on a bed of California stars. Hey!
I'd like to dream my troubles all away on a bed of California stars. Jump up from my star bed, make another day underneath. My California stars, they hang like grapes on vines that shine and warm the lover's glass like friendly wine. So I give this world just a dream with you on a bed of California stars.
Come on, Bil Lepp.
My life, just a dream with you in the bed of California stars.
Thank you all for tuning in and to our beautiful live audience. Let's hear it for Antje Duvekot, Golden Shoals, and Bil Lepp. That's our fearless leader over there, Martha Bassett. The band tonight was Sarah Howe Miller, Rex McGee, Sean Hickman, Russell Kelly, and me, Pat Lawrence. Our interstitial music tonight was composed by Russell Kelly. We'd like to give a big thanks to the Reeves Theater and staff and the beautiful town of Elkin, North Carolina. We got Jeff Irving, James Brickey, and Doug Williams of Electromagnetic Radiation Recorders handling the sound. Ben Singer, Eric DeLager, and Nick Bassett provided our video broadcast, and Sam Schumacher managed the house. Meet us out there with Miranda Anderson, who's selling the merch. It's the Martha Bassett Show. It's good music for good people. Thank you so much for joining us, and drive safe.
So I dream this world, just a dream with you on a bed of California stars.
We'll see you in the lobby.
Thanks, everyone.